special welcome to today's podcast. I am excited to be in conversation with Nick. Nick, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. Much appreciated.
Fantastic, fantastic. So today's topic that we are going to be looking at is the artificial intelligence chatbots. You have created one, and you are one of the people on the African continent that has actually built a system that is now even used overseas, and you've won quite a number of awards, of which I must say I'm super, super proud of you. That you're
so
making
much.
such waves. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely proud of you. So I would love you to just introduce yourself. Tell us who you
Sure.
are and what business you are involved in.
Sure. So my name is Nicholas Acheros, and I am the CEO of GotBotai, which is a South African-based chatbot solution provider.
Fantastic. So
Yeah.
how did you get into this industry? Please just take us on a journey. How
Sure.
did you get where you are today?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting story, but we've got a sister company called In Josie, which is a technology studio, and a friend of ours by the name of Dane Levenrad actually had an issue. He ran a very successful coffee shop, and most of his orders were coming directly into his to his phone via SMS, Facebook, WhatsApp, things like that. And he just basically couldn't handle the volume, and because he was obviously trying to make the coffees and type back to people and all of this. And due to the convenience, he basically said, Nick, is there no way to kind of like automate this whole process? So GotBot's first product was actually called GotBot Get It, which was a chatbot that was deployed over Facebook Messenger that took in coffee orders. And it had a whole integrated point of sale system, all of that. And then as we basically continued our journey, we had more and more people ask us, listen, can it do this? Can it do that? And eventually we built out the GotBot custom care system, which is basically a system that allows you to build whatever bot you want. So if you're in the retail industry, if you're in travel, tourism, financial services, it doesn't really matter. We've got a platform that can build out the automation and these bots for you. And that's basically the journey we took, which was really, really interesting. So our first use case was ordering coffee through text. Now we are. It's very interesting.
Excellent. Such a fascinating journey. I know that most of our listeners might not even know what a chatbot is. Let's start by defining what is an artificial intelligence chatbot, and secondly, where are people encountering these chatbots in everyday life?
Yeah. So the first thing to understand is artificial intelligence is often used as a fairly broad term. With us, we work in a certain vertical within artificial intelligence, specifically in machine learning under natural language processing and natural language understanding. So what that means is, as a person types, the machine learning algorithms basically can pick up certain keywords, understand them, and then calculate what a probable answer would be. So that's now all free text. So you've got the machine learning in the background, picking out keywords, formulating it into a proper response back to client. And then what you also have are bots that are built in decision trees. So this often happens when, for instance, someone comes in, is asking you about the product, what the product does, what time do you open, X, Y, and Z, and the bot can then respond. From there, what ends up happening is that a person, let's just say it was wanting to get a costing out of the business itself. What will happen is we then take that into a decision tree and we start changing the the format of the conversation. And what we mean by that, instead of your customer asking the business the questions, now the business understands that you want a quote, and now the business is going to ask the person questions, and we'll go through an onboarding process, for instance, and the bot will start asking you, for instance, for your name, your email address, what the scope of work is, how many units would you like to order, all of that type of stuff. And you'd be able to take them all through the onboarding journey. You'd be able to go through the scoping process, and if certain third-party bits of software are integrated, for instance, like your accounting system, we could possibly even deliver the quote directly to the person. So you could just imagine how powerful that is once you understand how chatbots actually work. The second part of your question was, where are people encountering chatbots in their lives? And one of the main places that you'll see chatbots these days is on the front end of a website, a web chat. So either that is live chat or it's driven by robotics. And that's when you will build in a knowledge base, often a natural language processing and so on, where you can very quickly fulfill the person's request, even if it's, often people are looking for certain things on websites, but they can't find it because the websites are so big. What you can even do now is people can type into the web chat asking where a specific portion of information is, and the bot can direct them to that, for instance, and just help them with, any type of like frequently asked questions and things like that. And then I think that's our kind of one of the more predominant places. And what's becoming quite popular now is the use of bots over very popular channels like WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, things like that. So we refer to it as channel of choice. So because you can deploy bots on these channels where your audience is actually sitting and your customer base is sitting, they don't have to go and download another app. They have a question, they can ask it on Facebook, for instance, and we can then reply on their channel of choice. So if they like being on Twitter, we can deploy a bot on Twitter. If they like being on Facebook, we can deploy a bot on Facebook. If they like WhatsApp, we can deploy a bot on WhatsApp, or all of them, So it becomes very interesting because people use bots now as, different types of strategies. So they would often use, for instance, I know I'm delving into this quite intensely now, but they would deploy a specific bot for lead generation, let's say, on something like Instagram or Facebook, because that's where the audience is interacting. And then let's just say self-service could be done on something on WhatsApp or web chat, for instance. So we're starting to see that certain channels offer a segment of your clientele a specific user journey where they like to interact on certain things on certain channels, basically.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And people are always using chatbot as well when they interact with certain apps, right? I'm thinking of the bank app. There's
Yes.
you can ask it a question, and it will give you feedback. So
Yes.
that's a bot that is sitting there.
Correct. So what tends to happen there is that where you're getting the best out of the bot is with large volumes of mundane questions where you don't really need a human being. So let's just take a bank as an example. People are looking for their statements all the time, or what is my repayment on my account, or how much do I still owe on my loan. And what we've then done is we take GotBot and we then channel it into their third-party legacy systems, whatever it is, the ERP, CRM systems. We are able to then take the data from that portion of their system and feed it back, so that when someone comes in and asks for their statement, we quickly vet them. We go and collect the information from the bank's internal system and pass it through to